quickly before we get into this, I look really shiny. I had a bath just before I done this video.
What?
Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to part 2 of my World Cup predictions. And in this one, we're doing the last 16. I've done the groups in the last video, so if you've not seen that, links will be in the description. So you can get an idea of why the teams I've picked are here, because I've explained it in more depth there. But yeah, it's here now, and I'm not going to lie, the matchups are looking tasty.
That is fucking disgusting.
So the first...
Nope.
So the first last 6...
You're so stupid!
So the first game is Senegal versus the USA. So Senegal, my dark horses, and the US are sort of like the, for me anyway, the new kids on the block in a sense. Like, they're so young. Like, it's actually hard to explain just how young the team is. I looked at a graph, I think yesterday, and the average age for the qualification team was like 23. And I think the second lowest was like 25.5. So like yeah, they're a very young team in comparison to every team. Senegal team's a lot more experienced, and I think for that reason, I'm going to go with Senegal. I really do rate their team, plus off the back of winning the AFCON. I just think they're going to have too much. I think 2026 is when the US are going to like be the team that they're wanting to be, you know? Like, they've got the home World Cup, and I think a lot of their youngsters will be in there sort of closer to their prime, even still a lot, like, not necessarily in their prime, but closer to their prime. I think, yeah, that'll be their World Cup. But yeah, Senegal for the game 1. Argentina versus Denmark is the second game, and I honestly think with this, see, Argentina are a very good team. Even though I'm not necessarily rating them as much as many other people, they are still a very good team. I'm just going to go with Denmark. I'm not going to lie, there's something about this Denmark team. Obviously, they should have probably beat England in the Euros. And I just think, as good as Argentina are, I think they have a lot of downsides as well. They're going to be a bit older. Messi's going to be 35, so obviously he's still one of the greats, if not the greatest. But I just feel like maybe their defence will let them down. I just don't rate their defence, and there's just issues throughout the squad in my opinion. But it will be a close game, and I won't be surprised if Argentina absolutely smash them if they face Denmark. But I'm going to go with Denmark. That's another surprise. I'm going to go with Denmark, and that sets up a nice quarter-final between Senegal and Denmark, which means one of them will make the semis. Game 3 is England versus the Netherlands. Is my English bias going to come in?
You're goddamn right.
I think it might do. Again, the Netherlands have standout players. Like, they have some very good standout players. De Jong, Van Dijk, De Ligt. Obviously, you've got like, they've got some standout players, but then the rest of it's like average sort of level. Not average, like they're a good level, but for the Netherlands, I just think it may let them down a little bit. Obviously, England have their own issues. Their goalkeepers, for me, I don't think England have a great goalkeeper. And I mean, centre-back too, actually, to be honest.
Harry Maguire!
We've got some issues in our defence, but I think we'll have a bit too much for the Netherlands. But yeah, it's up for interpretation. I'm going to go with England for this. Again, my bias might be coming into it, but it is what it is. And I mean, yeah, England are going through to the quarters. Game 4 is France versus Mexico, and I think, to be honest, Mexico have been done dirty a bit again. They can always make it to the round of 16. They always just get shafted by the opposition.
Another one. Another one. Another one. Another one. I am having a very bad day.
You know, I can't really look past France, man. They're just too strong, which sets up England versus France. Oh, damn it, man. I think our run might be coming to an end. But yeah, Mexico won't have enough of France, in my opinion. Maybe the World Cup curse will come into play, and they'll get a result, but I just can't look past France, man. Game 5, Germany versus Canada. I mean, I think I've done Canada a bit of a solid, putting them in the round of 16. I do think they have a chance to make it, but they're in a tough group. I actually think they're in the hardest group. When I come to think of it, Croatia, Morocco, who are a very good team, man. You look at their squad, but you also look at their sort of performances. They're a really good team. I think they're being underrated by myself even. If they get Ziyech, I think they could actually make the round of 16, Morocco. So I've done them a bit of a solid, making them into the round of 16, even though I do think they have a chance because they've got a promising team. But Germany will be too much, man. This Germany team's class, bro. You've got some really, really good players, like potential to win the tournament. So yeah, Germany for me. And the 6th game in the round of 16, Brazil versus Uruguay, South American rivalry. Brazil will have too much, to be honest. You saw in the qualification, I think just overall Brazil are just too strong. Uruguay got some good players, some experience, some young players coming through, but Brazil will have way too much, man. which sets up Germany versus Brazil, which would be a nice matchup. I guess a rematch of the Brazil 2014. I think that was in the quarterfinals as well.
Nope.
I think it was.
Nope.
When Neymar was injured and he couldn't play and they won 7-1. I think it was in the quarterfinals. So it's a reload of that. Could it go different? We'll see. Match 7, Belgium versus Spain. I'll be honest, I mentioned in the previous video, I don't rate this Belgium team as much as I have in previous years. I think Spain will be too much. I know I think Spain have some downsides too, especially their attack, like goal scorers, but I think overall their squad is way too strong for this Belgium team. But at the same time, I feel like Luis Enrique has some strange picks for his squads. Some of the selections he has just blow my mind, but I do think Spain will have a bit too much with this Belgium team aging, to say the least. And then game 8 of the round of 16, Portugal versus Serbia. A reload of the qualifiers where Serbia just picked Portugal, even though they probably shouldn't have, when there was a wrong decision, a very wrong decision. And I think Portugal will get their revenge. I do think the Serbia team's good, much better than previous years, and they do have potential to go through. Maybe if they match up Uruguay, say Portugal comes second, maybe they could match up with Uruguay. I do think their squad is good, man. A lot of good young players, a lot of good, even more experienced players as well. But yeah, Portugal for me. I think this might be a year where Portugal pull through, you know. They've always got this, well, they've got this incredible team, but they never sort of show it on the pitch, you know. I feel like they play very defensive, like really pragmatic. So this might be the year where they shine through, and that makes up a nice matchup between Spain and Portugal. The quarterfinals, man, they're looking tasty. Damn! So you got Senegal versus Denmark. For me, gonna go for it. Senegal. These are both my sort of dark horses. I don't know if you can consider Denmark a dark horse, but Senegal will go through in my opinion, and that means they're the first ever African team to make the semi-finals. Now, wouldn't that be a story? I would love it, man. Obviously, we should have had Ghana in the 2010 World Cup, but Senegal making it to the semis. I really think their squad's good, man. I think they've got such a good team. I might be looking too much into their key players and maybe not thinking about their not so good players, or their players who maybe aren't to the level of the Denmark players or other teams, but Senegal for me, man. I think they could be a real dark horse in this tournament. And in the other tie, Germany versus Brazil. Now this is tough, man. This is literally a flip of the coin. I think overall, Germany have like a more stable team. Like Brazil have some star players, but I feel like Germany as a team might be better overall. Like I feel like they got better players in certain positions that Brazil's struggling. But saying that, Brazil, man, can't doubt them. You can't doubt them. As much as I think Germany could work their way through Brazil, it's Brazil, man. You can never really put it past them. They've struggled in recent tournaments. I think this might be a year where they change that, you know. Plus, it's in a warmer climate, so maybe the Brazilian players will be more up to it than the German players because, again, they're used to the hotter climate, etc. So that makes a really interesting semi-final tie between Senegal and Brazil. Now, that's a flipping banger, man. The vibes in that tie, man. The vibes. Oh, my days. I would love that for a semi-final. The second half of the quarterfinals, England versus France. Oh, why France, man? Anyone but France, like actually maybe anyone but France and Brazil in the quarters, I would take it, but it's obviously the World Cup. You've got to expect these hard games, and I'm going to go with England. No, I'm joking. I'm not that biased, alright? I really don't think we'll have a chance. I think probably like 3-1 to France. To make it this far for England, I'll take it, you know. We made the semi-finals last time round, but we had an easy run. We haven't got an easy run in this one, and I mean, yeah, I just think France will be way too much with the quality that they've got. So, France being the first team in the other side of the semi-finals. And the matchup between Spain and Portugal. See, this is hard for me. I think, based off the fact that Portugal just don't seem to perform as well as they should do, I might have to go for Spain, but I'm not going to. I think, I've said this in the previous video, I think this might just be the year where Portugal just say, fuck it. We're just going to go all guns blazing, you know. We're not going to sit back. This probably won't happen, but we're not going to sit back. We're not going to defend. We're going to just play with the ability that we've got and just run through these teams. Because if they did, I think, bro, they could spin Spain, to be honest. Like, Spain have got a bit of a younger team, in my opinion. I think they do. I don't actually know that, but I'm basing it off the fact that I know they've got a lot of youngsters coming through. Okay, so I've done a terrible job trying to explain this. What I meant was Spain have a lot of really young elite level talent, but it's a bit too soon for the young players. And on the opposite end, I think they've got a lot of older players who were once great, who've still got the experience, but a bit too past their prime. And I just think it's an awkward stage for the Spain squad currently. I'm sort of just predicting that Portugal will just play better than they do. so it could be completely wrong. Portugal could have an absolute mare and Spain could just run through them. But yeah, that's my explanation. Yeah, Portugal going to come through that, man, and that makes a nice tie. France and Portugal for the other side of the semis. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. This is a nice semi-final matchup, man. So you got Senegal versus Brazil and France versus Portugal. Bro, if this was the actual semi-finals, I would love this. Obviously, England for France would be sick, but
Not gonna happen.
But yeah, for the first semi-final matchup, Senegal versus Brazil. I said a few seconds ago that the vibes will be insane. It's just, yeah, the level of this game, just the sort of, I think this would just be what the World Cup's about, man. This is the ties that you just look forward to. And as much as I think Senegal will do bits in this tournament, you look at the two teams and Brazil just have way too much. Experience, quality, squad depth, it's just, yeah, I think it's a no-brainer here. If Senegal made it this far, I think their country would be so proud, as they should be. And I mean, yeah, the semi-finals for Senegal will be sick. But Brazil, come on now, it's Brazil. We've got to be realistic here. So yeah, I think Brazil will be the first team in the final. And the second side of the semi-finals, France versus Portugal. Now, do I go France and just sort of like be a bit boring and just go who everyone else would sort of pick? I mean, I want to go Portugal. And if I was to base this off the squads, it wouldn't be a bad shout to even go Portugal, but it's just, I can never look past of how they play and how they sort of struggle to qualify for the tournament. And I mean, France, man. They're the reigning champions. Obviously, there's the World Cup curse, but I don't think it will come into play this tournament, to be honest. Like, usually when there's a World Cup curse, you sort of see the team. It's not actually as good as it was. This France team, man, although maybe some of the better players aren't as good as they were, I think they've got even younger players coming through that are just as good, if not better than some of the players from the last World Cup squad. So it's France for me, and that would make Senegal and Portugal be the third place playoff. I'm going to go Senegal just because I think Portugal would just be like, you know what, fuck this shit. And Senegal would just be like, yeah, come on, let's get third, you know. So yeah, Senegal for third place. The final, Brazil versus France. I'm telling you.
Nope.
I'm telling you, other than England, as an England fan, this is the perfect final. If this was or Messi versus Ronaldo, Portugal versus Argentina, don't think that's going to happen. France versus Brazil. If this was the final, I think this would be the highest watched World Cup final ever. Obviously, you got the two of the best teams in the world based like off the odds and stuff. And on paper, I just think they are the best two teams in the world. It's hard to say. It's a flip of a coin, but I just think France, man. I think they're just a little bit overall in positions that Brazil's struggling. I think France outshine them. They're just an overall insane team. And yeah, France are my winners for the 2022 World Cup. Brazil close second, Senegal third. And yeah, that's my prediction video. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully I haven't pissed you off too much. Again, this is just a guess. We're still months away. Over half a year actually. So it's a very long time until we're actually in the World Cup. And the squads could be completely different. So yeah, in 6 months time I might make another prediction video when we're closer to it. But from now on, this is my prediction. And let me know your predictions in the comments. Let me know who you think will win. Your sort of surprise of the tournament. Maybe your top scorers. For me, my top scorer, Mbappe, will be top scorer. Bro, the kid's a joke. I'm not going to lie, he's an absolute joke. Young player of the tournament, Vinicius Jr. If Brazil make the final, I think Vinicius Jr. will be a key reason behind that. So yeah, Vinicius for the young player of the tournament. Player of the tournament, Mbappe again. Maybe Pogba. Yeah, one of the French players I feel like will be one of them. And yeah, I mean, just let me know your opinions on that. Who you think will be the player of the tournament, all these things. Let me know in the comments. And I mean, yeah, let me know where you're watching from too. It's cool to see that, where the interactions are from. And maybe if your team isn't here or your team doesn't do so well, but you think they could do better, let me know your reasons why, because I'm always down to see why and sort of learn more about the qualifications and the level of the team that you're backing or the nation that you're from. But yeah, hopefully enjoyed, and until next time.